Hey guys, here's a quick 15-minute warm-up that you can go through if you've been riding in a car and you want to get your legs going, or you want to get yourself moving after you get to wherever you're going, or if you've been sitting at your desk all day, or if you're just feeling like you need to get up and get moving. This is a great, well-rounded stretch that you can do to get moving, get stretched out, and feel like you're getting your body energized. So here we go. Let's start off on a knee. You're going to take one knee. And you're also going to reach that arm up to the air, up into the sky. So you're kneeling on, in this case, I'm on my left knee. I'll reach my left arm up, and then I'm going to reach over my body. Right, so I'm arching over just a little bit. Pretend a nice straight line drawn right through my nose and through my belly button down to the ground. Now, after I'm reaching up, I'm going to tilt and reach just over that line. So now I'm getting a nice big stretch down here. I've got my tailbone tucked down. So I should feel a stretch here, should feel a stretch here, maybe in your abs, depending on who you are and how you feel. All right, let's go ahead and switch to the other side. Let's put our right knee down, tuck your tailbone down, right? Like you have a heavy weight hanging from your tailbone, or you're trying to bring your belly button up. And then we're going to reach up and over. Again, we should feel that stretch here as you reach, or as you stretch. And then down in your quad or even in your hip flexor up here. That's where we want to feel that stretch. If you're not feeling that stretch, let's push forward a little bit. So you're moving like this knee out over your ankle a little bit more. Still reaching, arching over that line, that midline. And good. Let's get a little bit more dynamic hip flexor stretch. Okay, so we're going to go one knee up. And now, keeping my tailbone tucked under, I'm going to slide forward so my knee comes just over my toes. Then I'll come back. Okay, so we're just moving back and forth here. As you go, we don't want to see you arch up. So you kind of make like, we don't want you to make the letter C back there. You're going to keep your tailbone tucked down. That means your belly is going to be strong. We're just pushing forward. Let's switch it up. The reason we go to this first is because most likely if you've been seated and you're looking to get moving, the things that get most tight are here in your hips. Okay, so we want to stretch that first so that we can get back to a more normal looking posture. All right, good. Let's go back to left knee on the ground. From this half kneeling position or one knee on the ground, you're going to take your hands down to the floor. Right, so now my hands are next to my foot. My foot's just outside my hands. Knee is outside your armpit. And here we're pressing your hips down to the floor again. I'm also trying to push my chest away from the floor as far as I can. So you're going to feel a big stretch here on the back hip because we're trying to push your hips down towards the floor. And you're also going to feel a stretch under that front leg as you push. Okay, from here, either with your hands on the floor or you may need to move them up to your knees, we're going to straighten that front leg. Okay, so now we're getting a big stretch down the back of this front leg right here. And we're just letting that stretch. Good, and the last thing, we're going to take your knee back down to the ground. Keep your hands right where they are. Last thing here, whatever hand is closest or right next to your foot, you're going to take that hand. We're going to rotate, and you're going to point your fingers up at the ceiling and back down and try to touch your elbow to your foot or your shoe. Okay, so then we reach up, we rotate. Your chest should be facing your knee right now, your thigh. And we come back down, reaching for that foot with your elbow. And let's do 3 more. Reach up and down. Reach up, down one more time. Turn and touch. All right, good. Let's switch to the other side. So right knee is on the ground. We're in that half kneeling position. Hands are going to go to the floor. And again, here we're trying to push your hips down to the floor, pushing your chest away. And good. From here, we're going to try to straighten that front leg. If you can keep your hands on the floor, keep your hands on the floor. If you need to come up to hands on your knee, you can come hands up to your knee. But really, we'd like to keep your hands down here. It's much easier to balance, and we get a much bigger stretch out of it. So this leg may not be totally straight. That's okay. It can be bent a little bit, just as long as you're feeling that stretch up and down the back of your leg. All right, good. Last piece of this. We're going to take the hand that's right next to your foot. So in this case, it's our left hand. And you're going to reach down towards your foot, try to touch your elbow to your shoe. And then we open up chest toward your knee. And we'll go up and down here, try to touch your shoe. Rotate up, fingers to the ceiling. Two more. And last time, reaching down and coming up. Good, let's roll over onto your back. So we're gonna lay down. And from here, you're gonna have one foot flat on the floor. Let's bring your right knee into your chest, and you're gonna give this knee a hug. As we push with your other foot, I want you to try to keep your thigh touching your rib cage here, okay, or your belly. So we've got that knee hugged. We're going to push down into the floor and lift your hips up. So let's try to hold here for 10 seconds. Right, what you should feel right now is your butt cheek doing the work, and relax. We're going to do that same thing again for 2 more reps. Okay, bringing that thigh into your chest, give it a big hug. Press down into the floor. Good, so I'm pressing my heel down through the floor here. Butt cheek is doing the work. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Okay, we're going to do that one more time. Give your knee a hug. Pushing through the floor, lift your hips up. Keeping that knee touching your rib cage. 5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Let's go to the other side. So now you're giving your left leg a hug. Try to keep it touching your rib cage. And we push into the floor, lift your hips up. Holding for 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good. We let those muscles breathe a little bit. Now give your knee a hug again. Pressing into the floor, lift your hips up. We're going to hold for 10. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good job. One more time. Bring that thigh in nice and tight. Press through the floor, lifting your hips up. Should feel your cheek doing the work. 5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Let's come up to your side. So we're going to go on your elbow, and we're going to bend your knees so that you're doing a side plank, but it's not a full side plank where your legs are out straight. We're just going to go from your knees. All right, so let's go ahead and hold this position. So this isn't a stretch, but it is a warm up. So all we're trying to do is get all the muscles and stuff around your hips going and working for you. If this feels really easy, you can separate your top leg from your bottom leg. And we hold that same position. Let's go for 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and relax. We go to the other side. And bend those knees. We come up to the side plank. Make sure your butt's not sticking out the back. So we want your butt to be all the way up in front, right in line with your shoulder, hip, and your knee. And then let's separate that top knee from the bottom. We're going to hold 10 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good. So we're going to sit up. And right now I've got my front leg turned in, okay, and my back leg turned out behind me, right? So best way, maybe if you're struggling with this, if you're sitting with your both feet on the ground and your knees straight up, all we're going to do is just like windshield wipers, we'll tilt them to one side and then adjust. So we're going to try to get your butt cheeks to the ground here. If both butt cheeks don't touch the ground, that's no big deal. But from here, you're going to take your chest, and we're going to go right over forward, just over this knee. And we try to push both elbows down into the floor. All right, so you should feel this stretch in the back of your hip, right around where you would put your hand in your back pocket. If you're not feeling a stretch there, you can take your foot and move it away from your body. Okay, the more you move your foot away from the body, the more it's going to turn your hip and the more stretch you'll feel there. So we're just hanging out. And good, let's go to the other side. So take those feet just like windshield wipers, or you leave your feet on the ground, take your knees just like windshield wipers, and we flip them over. And we go to the other side. And we go down. Again, if you're not feeling a stretch, you'll move your foot forward. Just grab it with your hand and pull it. Should be feeling this stretch right around where you would put your hand in your back pocket. And relax, good. So we're gonna do one more stretch on the floor. All right, we're gonna lie down on your back. Grab the back of your leg, right? If you have a towel or a belt or something that you can loop over the top of your foot here, that also helps to do this. But for right now, we're gonna keep this equipment free. You just go ahead and clasp your fingers together, grab the back of your leg, let your head relax down to the floor, and then try to touch your other leg to the ground. We're trying to get the back of your knee to touch the ground. Okay, so we're just giving yourself a hamstring stretch here. If you can't to get your foot to face the ceiling, if you have to bend your knee, that's okay. What we're gonna do is you're gonna press that heel up towards the sky and come back down. Press and come back down. Press and come back down. In fact, let's do that regardless of whether you can get your legs straight up or not. So you're kind of turning on the stretch and then taking it off. Push that heel up to the sky and relax. One more time, heel up to the sky and relax. Good, let's do the same thing on the other side. You're gonna grab the back of that leg, pushing your heel up towards the sky, and then bend your leg a little bit and pull it into you, and then we push your heel up and relax. Push your heel up to the sky and relax. So we're just going through, keep pressing that leg up. It's gonna feel like stretch, no stretch. Stretch, no stretch. And good, relax. All right, we're gonna go ahead and stand up. Now we'll get a bit of warm up in, just so you get a nice warm feeling in your legs. All right, for right now, we're gonna step backwards with a reverse lunge. So we take one leg, step backwards, tap that knee to the floor if you can, and we come back up. So let's stick with that same side for 10. So the goal here is not to make you tired. The goal is just to get you moving. Okay, and let's do the same thing on the other side. So now we keep that front foot right where it is. We'll step backwards, tap your knee to the floor, come back up. If you're not, if it feels more like a workout than a warm up for you to tap your knee, then don't worry about it. What we want is a nice warm feeling over your legs. Maybe your heart rate comes up a little bit. Maybe we get your breath up just a little bit. Stepping backwards, tap to the floor and come up. And good. Okay. Next one, we're going to step out to the side. So our feet start together. We step out to the side, bend that leg, and we come back. Okay, let's go to the other side. So we're going to go alternating directions here. We step out, come back. Step out, come back. It's okay for your chest to face the floor a little bit here, but we don't want your chest ending up down on your thigh. Last one each side. Okay, good. Last one here. We're gonna do airplane arms. Okay, so what's gonna happen is you'll stand on one leg. You're gonna tilt over, right? So that you kind of make that straight line from your back heel all the way up through your head. Then arms go out to the side like an airplane, right? So now we're gonna turn the airplane. So we turn down, we turn up, and then we relax, okay? Switch legs. You're gonna take that hip, you're gonna turn your hip down, turn your hip up, and come back. So you'll notice your balance gets challenged here. Hinging over, arms out. Okay, we tilt one side, tilt to the other. Make sure we're taking everything there, not just your shoulders. So we want your hips to turn here too. Hinging over. So if you had a marble sitting on your waistband, you turn one way, the marble falls off. Somebody puts it back on, you turn the other way, and the marble falls off the other way too. Okay, let's do one more time each side. So we're hinging over, turn the plane the other way. Come on up, last time, other foot. Closing down, opening up. And good. If it helps you to do that with your fingertips on something next to you, okay, that would help with the balance also. So that's a quick general warm up just to get you moving after you've been sitting around. Hope you're feeling good. We'll talk to you soon.